and welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to sit down here and chat about some of these books I've been loving so far in the month of December, but also I'm looking forward to reading over January and February too. It's been a while since I've done a video. It's been crazy. I need to catch up properly with you, but let's just say teething has been happening. So I have been very fatigued, and every day I've just been catching up on myself really, and also trying to keep up with the podcast and the blog and Instagram and also the farm. We've been filming a lot of BBC at the moment. We've had Country File, we've had another program, and then we had just so much stuff. It's been crazy. Winter is a time of year that I really enjoy reading. I have so much more time in the evenings. The kids go to bed around 6, which is fantastic. So I have quite a long stretch of evening where I can really dive into some good books. And winter is a great time to do this in particular because I think we all need a little bit of inspiration. Winter can be very dark and a bit gloomy. The garden looks a bit meh, and it's a good time to do some cooking and get inspired. So I've got a little array of books here which I really like, and I'm going to share them with you, and I hope that it inspires you and you find some new favourites from this video. The first one, this is a new one. I actually got this from the library, but I really want my own copy. It's Nigel Slater's Green Feast Autumn Winter. And this is a lovely book. It's very well written. I think all of Nigel Slater's books are very nice to read. And all these are vegetarian, so there's no meat in them. And there's things like carrot spices paneer, so it's not vegan, it's just vegetarian. Mushrooms, blue cheese, toasting muffins, so lots of delicious recipes. I'm really excited to try some of the recipes from that. Then I have got my favourite book of winter, which is Nigel Slater's The Christmas Chronicles. This is a recipe book, but also a sort of ode to Christmas, and each day is almost like an advent calendar where you've got the date, and this one is all about spice, crumbs and cream on the 5th of December. And it's a combination of his memories as a child and things that he loves about Christmas. 30th of December, Christmas stamps and bubble and squeak, and it goes all the way into Candlemas, so 2nd of February. So it's a really nice book to have now and enjoy throughout January as well. I've been reading it through December and it is just absolutely magical. I highly recommend this. If you've been sitting on the fence about getting this, just go get it. It's not too late because, like I said, it'll take you through the entirety of January, and then you'll have it for next November to read as well. It is fantastic. This is a new book, but one I'm very excited to properly dive into, and it's Gifts of the Modern Larder by Rachel D. Thampill. And I've tried a few of her recipes before and I really like them. I haven't tried anything from here yet, but it all sounds delicious. There's pickles, there's chocolates, lemon curds, shortbreads, biscuits, these gorgeous Mayan chocolate biscuits, lots of gorgeous photos, and there's some little chocolate honey bunnies. And this is obviously something again that you could use throughout the year. Whenever you have a birthday or celebration, you can make something delicious from this book and give it as a gift. It's really good. Highly recommend it, and I'm looking forward to spending some time now. I've got the quieter months ahead of me to really enjoy it. This is a fairly recent purchase for me. It's The Natural Baker by Henrietta Inman. I have her first book, Clean Cakes, and I really enjoy it. I use her pastry recipe from that book a lot. This is gorgeous. There are some stunning cakes in this. They're all made with like whole grain, and there's also some savoury bakes as well. So I'll definitely be baking from this in the coming months. Can't have winter without Diana Henry's Roast Figs and Sugar Snow. This is a very festive book that goes through the winter season and has lots of lovely recipes. The roast squash with porcini cream is a favourite of ours. Love that, it's really good. There's gorgeous biscuits, roast figs and plums and vodka. It's very inspirational, and of course her writing, like Nigel Slater, is very good as well. So it makes for a, just trying to get you a nice picture, it makes for a very nice gift or a nice book just to get you inspired to cook during winter. Moving on, I do also like this book, How to Hygge, The Secrets of Nordic Living by Signe Johansson. Now, I think obviously the whole hygge thing has slightly been done to death, but this book is still gorgeous. It's got recipes in it that are very festive and lovely for winter. Loads of ideas on how to enjoy life and be in the moment, and I really enjoy this. I had not really that many high hopes for it. I thought, oh, it's probably a bit gimmicky, but actually I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I will be pulling this out and reading it throughout the coming months as well. Calm Christmas by Beth Campton. I interviewed Beth for my podcast Nature and Nourish a couple of weeks ago, and we were chatting about this new book of hers called Calm Christmas, and it's so fantastic. Obviously this is more of a festive read, but there is a little section about New Year's as well, setting intentions and resolutions and that kind of thing. It's very good if you want to slow down and have a more intentional Christmas, and I highly recommend this. If you haven't read it, go check out our podcast interview. I'll link it below, but definitely pick this one up, and if it's too late for Christmas, then definitely get this for next year because it's really good. If you are crafty in any way, I do recommend this book by Emma Mitchell called Making Winter. I don't really have a lot of time for crafts and that kind of thing at the moment, having 2 very young children, but I still enjoyed this book nonetheless. Emma's got a really nice way of writing. She's very funny, and her other book, which is, I think, The Natural Remedy or something like that, is also very good. So I did enjoy it. So there's lots of lovely sweet things. This is the bird snack. So crafts that would work quite well with kids, as well as really pretty things that you could make as gifts. Lots of baking recipes as well. Wreaths, a very nice looking chocolate pudding. I think these are gorgeous, these little hawthorn inspired crocheted mittens. Definitely really nice. She's got a section on planting bulbs. So yeah, this would make a really nice gift if anyone has a winter birthday, but also if you just want to get started with some crafts, I really recommend this one. It's very approachable, and like I said, Emma's writing is really good too. Another crafty book that I like this time of year is Wreaths by Katie Smith and Terry Chandler. I got this last year in my stocking and I love it. It has wreaths for the entire year, so that's a late summer chandelier, a mirror garland. Just flick through it for you. You can just see there's absolutely tons of wreaths, and obviously in winter it's the season of wreaths on doors, but I love the idea of having wreaths throughout the year, so this is a really nice one to get you going on making your own wreaths and flower arranging and that kind of thing. So apart from baking and crafting and getting cozy and intentional, I love gardening books at this time of year. I actually think I love gardening books more than any of the other ones because they are full of inspirational photography. It's just so welcome to see some green and some flowers, even if it's just in a photograph at this time of year. And I have been reading The Pottery Gardener by Arthur Parkinson, and I love it. It's so good. This is the story of Arthur and his garden that he runs at the Emma Bridgewater factory, and it is full of gorgeous photos of plants. And this is the kind of book that is an inspirational book, really. It's got obviously the beautiful photographs with a bit of Emma Bridgewater in there as well, which, as you saw at the beginning of the video, I'm actually drinking tea out of Emma Bridgewater, so you know I'm a fan of hers. But there's also lots of gorgeous pictures of chickens, and I love chickens, so I find this very uplifting and inspiring. And he's very good at writing too, so I enjoyed the text element of this too. His story of how he got started in gardening and his tips as well are fantastic. And I'm just looking at the baby. If you're like, why is she looking at Toby? He is at that point where he's dragging himself around the room now. He's 7 months old and he's just into everything. It's very cute. Right, my last book to show you is this lovely big tome. It's The Thoughtful Gardener by Ginny Blom, and I hadn't actually heard of her before, but I feel silly now because she's obviously a pretty big deal. Her work is so beautiful, and this book, I actually got this out of the library, but this book is a serious feast for the eyes. It is, as you can see, just glorious, and I just love it. I really recommend this to anyone who's interested in gardening. She has a really aesthetic eye, and quite romantic style, which I really like. Actually, I do have another book to recommend, and I highly recommend this one, but I have wrapped it up as a present, so unfortunately I can't show it. But it is by the Land Gardeners, and I think it's called The Land Gardeners. I'm going to link it below. It's a huge book, but it is glorious. It's full of the most beautiful pictures of flowers and their incredible gardens. So definitely get that if you're interested in gardening and you're looking for something a little bit joyful and uplifting in winter, because it will do the job. I promise. It is a beauty of a book. So yes, that's all the books that I am pretty much stockpiling for winter. Been reading lots of Nigel Slater, like I've already said, and the gardening books as well I've been dipping into. My plans for winter are really to get to grips with the garden design and figure out what I want to achieve this year coming, and so I'm really excited to do that, and I will be sharing more about all that on my podcast. And I actually have uploaded now my winter guide, my slow winter guide, so if you want a bit more inspiration for winter, I will also link that below. So guys, I'm going to leave the vlog here for today. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!